Once again, we turn another page in the story of Auntie Alice. The following excerpt is lifted from the book Legendary Territorians by no lesser NT legend himself in the late Reg Harris. Here comes the story of a bush legend, a horse race, and a clever comeback. Some people become part of territory history because of what they achieved, while others are remembered because of the stories they left behind. Stockman Henry Bulwaddy Bates was one of those characters, and these are just a few of the yarns that made him a legend. Henry Bathern owned Beetaloo Station. Henry thought his surname was too hard to remember, so he changed it to Bates. His mates reckoned the nickname Bulwaddy, after the tough native tree, suited him even better. Bulwaddy was illiterate, but he was great with cattle and buyers trusted him. They didn't even bother inspecting their purchases before delivery. Legendary NT policeman Ted Morey was among Bulwaddy's famous friends, but they often argued over which of them had the better horse. They even mapped out a course and organised a race to settle the argument once and for all. Nothing was really settled, as one horse finished the race while the jockey lost control of the other and the horse headed out bush. Some even argued that had the horse stayed on the track, it might have won. Another time, Ted was invited to Beetaloo to attend a double wedding between two Aboriginal girls and two part Aboriginal boys, one of which was Bulwaddy's son. Ted noted how well-dressed one of the grooms was in jeans and jacket. Then it clicked. The groom was wearing Ted's clothes stolen from his Hills hoist the night before. Ted did the right thing and got his clothes back after the wedding. Bulwaddy eventually moved to Newcastle Waters Station, and it was during this time one of the station hands was leaving and was owed £8. The employee was given the chequebook to write out the amount owed, and Bulwaddy signed it. That evening, while checking around the station, Bulwaddy overheard the man and another employee talking about the cheque and the good time they planned to have at Newcastle Waters. His mate said, "You can't do that much with £8." It was then that the truth came out, replying, "All I have to do is add a Y to the word 8 and a 0 to the number 8, and we have £80. I left plenty of room to do this when I wrote out the cheque for the old boy," he said, sniggering. Bulwaddy, however, was a lot sharper than what he'd been taken for, and the next morning called the hand in for a bit of a chat. That cheque, was it on the ES&A Bank or the Bank of New South Wales, Bulwaddy asked. When the reply was ES&A, Bulwaddy said, "I'm sorry, but I closed that account, so let me replace your cheque." When the cheque was handed over, Bulwaddy quickly tore it up and instead counted out for the bloke 8 £1 notes. Bulwaddy then said with a smirk, "See if you can make those into 80 quid. But that wasn't the end of it. You see, later Bulwaddy admitted to a mate he'd baked those notes in a camp oven the night before. By the time those bastards try to cash them at the pub, he said, "They'll be dust." Bulwaddy died at Newcastle Waters, leaving strict instructions to be buried facing Newcastle Waters Creek. If they failed to do it, he warned he'd somehow come back and sort them out. From settling arguments with a horse race to reclaiming a policeman's stolen clothes at a bush wedding and outsmarting a station hand with a forged cheque, Bulwaddy's quick wit became every bit as legendary as his reputation with cattle. They're the kinds of stories that have kept the memory of territory characters like Bulwaddy alive for generations to come.
Join us next time for more stories and Legendary Territorians by Reg Harris.